Welcome everybody, my name is Steve Lucin from Halucinated Studios, which is a creative studio in New York City that focuses on event branding and some event production. And today, we're gonna be doing a projection mapping tutorial. We're here at Be Electric Studios. Shout outs to Be Electric Studios for hosting us here. And we're gonna be having some fun with some projectors and using MadMapper and maybe Resolume in the next class. But let's get right into it. As I was saying, yep, we do event branding, marketing, projection mapping, live visuals. We do some broadcast production, so we record audio and video. And we all do it for nightlife brands, nightlife curators, DJs, and event producers. Halucinated Studios, we've worked with a lot of fun brands, including Red Bull, Noto in Philadelphia, a lot of nightlife brands like A Fuego, Pizza Zoo, the 9 AM Banger, NYC Reggaeton, the Bronx Brewery. The list goes on and on. So what are you gonna learn today? You will learn how to choose the right projector for your project or gig. You're gonna learn basic projection mapping techniques using MadMapper. You will know basic knowledge of running and mixing video content using Resolume Arena. And you'll learn how to map a MIDI controller to MadMapper and Resolume Arena. And finally, map a 3D surface in real life, which is probably the first thing that we're gonna end up doing out of this whole big list. But what is projection mapping? Projection mapping is, there we go. Projection mapping is a video projection technique in which video footage is mapped onto a surface, turning common objects such as buildings, runways, stages, even water into astonishing displays. These surfaces become a canvas, playing off the surface's shape and textures to create a delightful experience of light and illusion. In tandem with mapping software, these images can even be made into interactive features. When used in business, projection mapping is often considered a form of experiential marketing. Stop telling me, Steve, right? Why don't you show me? So there's a little video that I found on YouTube that explains what projection mapping is.
Projection mapping is the art of using projectors to map light onto any surface, turning common 3D objects into interactive displays. We then use motion graphics and creative coding to display highly engaging or immersive content, essentially replacing the surface of the object. Whether the objects are complex industrial landscapes, such as buildings, small indoor objects, theatrical stages, or even multiple overlapping canvases, projection mapping changes the object's appearance in real time. It can add extra dimensions, optical illusions, and notions of movement onto previously static objects. Using specialized software and custom content, we can projection map onto any 3D object. The possibilities are endless. Achieving a seamless presentation, however, is no simple task. Many factors must be taken into account before the process can begin. What is the size and shape of the projection area? Projection placement? Is it indoor or outdoors? The brightness? The viewing angle of the audience? The length of the animated content, the type of the animated content. Each of these can influence the size and outcome of the task being undertaken. The process usually begins with scanning and plotting out the surface to be projected onto. Then, with specialized software, we skew and distort the two-dimensional flat content from the projector to appear correctly on the three-dimensional surface. The animated content is then created, taking this distortion into consideration. Color brightness and saturation, 3D movement and illusions, plus other effects are tested throughout the development process to ensure a seamless outcome. With the aim of enhancing your product, increasing engagement and interactivity with your product, entertaining your consumers or guests, or simply creating that incredible wow factor which events called for. Projection mapping promises to leave a lasting impression.
Fire, right? Love that, right?
Can we do the face thing?
Whew, that's a few lessons down, but yeah, we could get into that. Wanted to show you a couple things that we've done here at Halucinated. Not as massive as some of the things that you've seen, but I'd say pretty fun and impressive nonetheless.
All right, we got the projection mapping done. We got one projector over here, aiming at this wall over here has some random visuals going on in the background, and on the frame we have some visuals just to kind of show that trick. And next we have the Toxic Skull Club frame, branding on the left, big toxic skull visuals in the background. It's 3 videos just kind of like looping. These no frames, I mean no random things on the frames, just to show that you can have it white. Over here on the next one, we got NFT Basil. They have an animated logo up here, a regular logo over here, and I just put some liquid ink in the background. And this one also doesn't have anything on the frames. And then this one over here, Artifice. They had like an explainer video, so I did 1 explainer video, 2, and 3, one really big one on the bottom, just to kind of show branding. You may notice that it's not entirely legible, and that's because these are coming from not optimal projection placement, right? This is just a pop-up. We're just kind of just showing off what we can potentially do, but these projectors are going to be higher end, much brighter, and crispier in quality once they are mounted correctly along over here and throwing at the wall at the right distance. But for what it is, we also have down here, that second projector is just hitting this floor, and we got branding, some logo work down here. Let me know what you guys think.
This is
here for you. Hopefully you rock it this weekend.
So this was for a client called Web3 NYC Gallery. They're located on 42nd Street and 5th Avenue. They had us pull up and do projection mapping on their NFT galleries. And that made the NFT gallery a little bit more impressive. This was actually a recap of our 10-year anniversary. We built an arch, as you're gonna see here with our logo, the Halucinated logo. We projection mapped on the arch as well as behind the arch and on the sides of the stage. So I'll let this one play. This is a fun. That's us in the back, VJing. And you see every DJ had its own theme on the arch and on the stage, right? We went from electric to fire, to water, to air, to steel. And I think that was using 3 or 4 projectors right here in this room. Oh, there's David. So that's definitely for stages and music. Projection mapping is awesome. So right here for NYU, we did a floor to ceiling projection map for 2 walls that meet in a corner. And then for these golden frames that are on this side of the wall, we covered the portraits there with white static cling. And then we aimed at each one and replaced it with animations of people who got freed in 1865 for slavery. But the point is that we were able to take a room and just completely transform it with our projections. And having frames is kind of interesting because we're able to just really pinpoint where to put the projections there. Oh, I had one more piece of content. It looks like it didn't load, but all good. Moving on forward. So prepping content. Prepping content is so important with projection mapping because people are gonna send you files in all sorts of sizes. And it's really important to have something that's really manageable and that you understand how that particular piece of content is going to work with the projector. So what I have here is you should convert everything to 1920 by 1080. That is a very standard size. It's HD. It's full HD. Right now we're in 2022, moving into 2023. Yes, we have 4K, we have 8K, but 1920 by 1080 is still a standard of a high definition video, right? Everybody can view 1080. Not a lot of people can view 4K, 8K on their particular phone or device, not yet anyways. So, and 1920 by 1080 is a good standard projector. And we're gonna get into the different projectors, right? Because these projectors output at different resolutions. So it's always nice to have something of standard, right? If it can output at 1920 by 1080, the quality is gonna be good. It's gonna look not distorted. It's not gonna look squished. And it's just gonna look great. So this goes for anything that the client may send you. They may send you a logo, so the PNG, grab the PNG, resize it in Photoshop so that it fits between a 1920 by 1080 canvas, and export that out. I also noticed that it's always good to have a logo in color, but also in white. If you have it in white, projectors love to throw back white better than, let's say, black, right? If I were to project black in here, you're not gonna be able to see it as bright, right? White reflects better, so always have a white version of the logo. And for your MOV files, right? 1920 by 1080, whether that's a regular MOV or an MOV with transparency, right? If you have a movie that has a transparent background, you could start to layer different movies together, mix them together, and of course, projection map them. Always label your content in a way that makes sense to you. So for me, I have a folder with many folders inside that tell me, okay, this is my folder of shapes and shit. This is my folder of black and white lines. This is my folder of LED disco type of visuals. This is my folder of bright lights, you know, and how you organize your content is gonna make it easier for you to find a certain piece of content when you need it. And now, okay, if you're going to VJ your content, you got to convert your content to HAP or DXV codecs. Now, what does this mean? So HAP codecs are, or HAP or DXV are codecs that let you scrub through video easier. So if we're talking about VJing, right, we're gonna play the video, we're gonna scrub through the video, make it faster, make it slower. We're going to skip ahead. When you download a video from the internet, it's typically an MP4 file with the H.264 codec. H.264 codec is meant for you to just play and stream in one speed, right? It's not meant for you to scrub back and forth. It's not meant for you to flip it around and turn it upside down and things like that. However, the HAP, the HAP, and the DXV codecs optimize that particular file for your computer to do all the scrubbing, the VJing, the reversing, and the adding effects to it. And it won't bog down your computer. That's the most important part right there, because if you're working on an older machine, your computer will get bogged down as the more effects and layers that you add to it. So I have some links here. Of course, I'll share this with everybody in the class, but know that if you're going to VJ and add layers and add effects to it, you definitely want to have those video files in HAP codec or DXV. And the way you convert them is by using a program, something like Shutter Encoder. Very easy program, very easy to do. All you can do is drag and drop, select HAP, hit run, and then you got your files. But with converting files comes storage space. So you need another hard drive to keep all your files in. I definitely suggest an SSD drive, a solid state drive, if you're gonna run your visuals off of that drive, and make sure that you're using a connection that is fast. So like a USB-C is good, Thunderbolt better, if you could do that. And then have a test card. Again, 1920 by 1080. So what's a test card? This is a test card right here. There it goes. So a test card is super important for projection mapping. Why? Because this tells you the boundaries of your map, and it's gonna help you in mapping better. The top, you'll notice the top left, right, bottom corners, they have a little green mark. That's how we'll know that that's the edge of the corner, right? It seems really rudimentary, but it's very important to know where the edge of your box is, of your video is, and you're gonna see that when you apply it. It's a grid. The grid helps you understand space and how far along to go in certain situations. In the four corners, there's different images, right? I have a logo over here, another logo over here, and two images, one of me as a Bitmoji down here and one of Alex. That will also tell us, okay, the mapping is in the right place, because if we notice that this logo is on the opposite end, then our mapping is all off, and then we don't know where we're at, or we do know where we're at, then we go and troubleshoot and try and fix that. And then there's type here too, because then that'll help us understand the focus of it. You know, is it focused? Can we read it? Is it legible? Is it not legible? And then colors in the middle, right? To understand if we're projecting the right colors, the right vibe. Is it clear? Do the whites look white? And little targets will also help us kind of split up the projection mapping. If we're really trying to do, let's say, a corner like this and do one map, then we'll know the middle is the middle because we have a little mark down here. And these are all guidelines. They're gonna help you to understand space and your actual video. All right, questions, comments, concerns so far? Everything makes sense? Cool. All right, projectors, really important. All projectors are not made equal. They are different throw ratios, they have different lumens, and of course there's different brands. So throw ratio, the different types of throw ratios are long throw projectors, short throw projectors, and there's also ultra short throw projectors. So what does that mean? When you go to, when you know, growing up in school, in a classroom, if they had a projector, it was normally in the back, right? And shooting across the hall, across the room, and illuminating the screen in front. Now that's because that was a long throw projector. It needed to be a certain distance away in order for it to illuminate the screen properly. Whereas short throw projectors only need to be, for example, 6 feet away from a wall in order to project 100 inches with some models, 120 inches for other models. So that means that the further you get away, the more light and distance of a screen you can get. And those are pretty magical. So right here, the projector that I have now, Brian, if you could kind of take a look at over here, this is an Epson, I'd say what, like 20 feet maybe? No, not even, that's not 20 feet. That's like 10 feet away from the wall, right? And look how big of a screen we're getting, right? That's definitely more than 100 inches. I'm really not good at calculating measurement, but it's big, right? It's more, right? So, and this is a short throw projector. If we were to go with an ultra wide projector in the same spot, facing the same distance, same wall, that ultra wide projector would probably go from the edge of this wall to the edge of this wall. It'll just hit a little bit more. Maybe even go past. So that all has to do with the lens. And if you're gonna do some projection mapping on your own, I absolutely recommend getting a short throw. The whatever you can afford is good. And the one that I started with is actually over here. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this. Ye old faithful. Brian, check this out. I got this projector in 2017. I proposed to my wife with this projector because I ended up creating a little art exhibition, projection mapped, a little heart with a slideshow of us, right? And I had her come in and I created some canvas pieces that I designed. I printed them on canvas and then the projection was there. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna propose to my wife with this and then use this for a lot of gigs. And this has gone through a lot since 2017. Like I said, we're in 2022, so we've used it a lot. But this was a good projector. It was, I think it retails for like $1,000. I was able to get this one, I think, refurbished for maybe 700, 800, maybe 600, I don't remember. So that's always, whenever buying technology, I try and get whatever I can afford, right? And getting refurbished technology, I'm always for that because I believe in the manufacturer or the brand being able to fix it up so that it's usable again. And it saved me a few $100. So this one is a short throw projector. It's the name brand is Optoma. It is, I'll put the actual description of the model in the show notes. But what was important to me was that I was able to plug into HDMI. Now, HDMI is still a standard audio video cable that many venues use nowadays. A few years ago, it was a lot of VGA, a lot of DV cables. HDMI is still the standard. So as long as your projector has a HDMI cable, I think you're in good standing. And then this one says full 3D 1080p. So again, this one, the standard is 1080, 1920 by 1080. I was like, okay, that's good. That's gonna give me a regular rectangle video that everybody is used to seeing, not the 4x3 squares of old school TVs, right? That's what a lot of old school projectors do and have. So Optoma, short throw lens, and then one other important part is the lumens. So the lumens is how bright the projector is. This particular projector is 3,000 lumens. And it's also an LCD bulb. So that's different than, let's say, a 3,000 lumen projector that has a laser bulb instead. So the one that we're looking at right now, this Epson, is actually 3,600 lumens, so about the same as that one, but it's laser. So laser is just straight up brighter and crispier. That Optoma right now with the amount of light in here would be half as bright as what we're seeing right now on the screen. So knowing the throw ratio, knowing the lumens, and whether or not it's an LCD or laser projector, those are the three different level ups for you to really understand in terms of what projector to use and what you can afford too, because the more ultra short throw you go, the more expensive. The more higher lumens, the more expensive. So 3,000 is decent for inside, a small room, a bar, a lounge. 30,000 lumens, that's what people use for festivals, right? The big projectors that go across the whole festival stage, those are 30,000. And they cost $30,000, right? $20,000. They cost a shit ton of money. This Optoma, similar to that other model, I think it's just like 400 lumens more, so not even that crazier. And then the Epsons, like I said, these are lasers, so you're going to see the difference. And the brand, so yeah, I said Optoma, Epson, BenQs are pretty legit. And then you go to the higher end ones, the Panasonics and the Christies, those are the big box projectors. I'm talking like bigger than that box over there. And they're just massive and heavy, and they need to be either on the floor or rigged up on trusses and really be held up. But those are powerful. Questions, comments, concerns?
This Optoma says it's full 3D. What does that mean?
That's a great question. I don't know. The full 3D, so I think if you put it in 3D mode, and I'm just going off of my TV 3D experience, right? Whenever I would put my TV in 3D mode, it fakes 3D. So when you put on some 3D glasses, it'll do its best to try and make things pop out. I think that has the same functionality because this particular projector is actually made for gamers. So I'm assuming you plug in your, World of Warcraft or whatever, and it'll just make it a little bit more 3D and have an interesting immersive experience. Great question though. Anything else? Let's dive right in, finally, right? Shut up, Steve, you talk way too much. Let's plug something in. All right, so let's everybody make sure the projector power is plugged in and plug it into your local power strip. And actually, can we start to turn off the lights?
Yeah.
And Brian, I wonder how that's gonna affect you. We shall see, right? We're gonna learn today.
The Sony A7S3 is pretty good with low light.
With low light.
situations.
Oh,
So Wadi.
that's excellent.
So
Okay, so we'll be good. I have confidence in the A7S3. And then locate your HDMI cord. Get this too, bro. Ooh, he gonna make it dark. And you know what? I'm also going to pretend like I'm doing the same thing.
I was gonna say, if you could have this on, I feel like this would light the space enough.
Right.
Okay.
At least.
This test card to David's MacBook Pro, that's you, right? Let's see. Waiting, boom. And then we got Miguel's MacBook Pro, that's you? AirDrop that shit. Or no? Oh, there it goes, waiting. All right, now that Nolan's back, I actually AirDropped a test card to these two. I'm gonna AirDrop one to you. Nolan's MacBook Pro, that's what I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right, so everybody's projector's plugged in. Can you locate your HDMI cable, plug it into the back of the projector and plug it into the computer? And Nolan, I'm really curious about your little guy over here. So if you could plug.
Can I use this one?
I want to see this one, and then then you can use this one. Yes. I'm just really.
Yeah.
I want to compare the 3000 joint. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
And then, do you need a HDMI to USB-C converter?
I have a USB-C HDMI cable.
Ooh, flavor. I got one of those too. Those are pretty legit. What's good about using a cable like that is that you have one less point of failure, right? If you're using an adapter, who knows if that adapter goes to shit, right? So if you have a cable, you're just eliminating that point of failure, which is always great.
I'll fire this.
Yeah, and then turn the projectors on. Find the power button. And then once the projector is on and it's plugged into your computer, the very first thing to do is go to System Preferences and go to the Display panel. So I go to that by going Command Spacebar and just typing in System Preferences or SIST, and then I hit Enter, and that's the fastest way that I find to get to it. And depending on which Mac OS you're using, I'm running Mac OS, let's see, 12.6, so Mac OS Monterey. Your Mac may look a little different. Okay, so once you plug in your projector, the first thing to do is to go to your System Preferences and then navigate to the Displays. So Displays is how you start to understand if your projector is connected properly. Now, typically in projection mapping, we really don't want to have a mirrored display, because whatever you are doing on your desktop is going to be mirrored to the projector, and that's not what we want. We want to extend the display. So navigate to your display settings on the bottom left corner for me. For an older one who has High Sierra, you may need to go and navigate a little bit differently, and I'll come back to you. But once you go to display settings, you're going to make sure that your main display up at the top just says main display. If it says mirror, if it says stop mirroring, definitely click that. And then your projector is going to stop mirroring. Once you stop mirroring, I like to have the projector making sure, or the main screen, making sure that I'm scaled to more space. I'm not mirroring anymore, but if we got more space over here. And then I'm making sure that the Epson projector is set to extended display. I like to see the scale and go to 1920 by 1080. And then once you hit done, you will know that you're in the right place when you have two screens in the displays. They're not stacked onto each other. So, how are you feeling over here?
Oh, so just one thing, any word on refresh rate? Because there are different options here. It came.
Refresh rate, if you're at 60 hertz, that's typically good. That's right, you have a different Mac OS, right? What Mac OS are you running?
Ventura 13.0.
Ventura 13, so it looks like you're pretty set over there. How are you doing over here?
Good.
You also got, can I see your displays? Your system preferences? Yep, you got the two separates, so good. And then David, yep. So I think he has what Mac OS are you running, Nolan? Big Sur. So Monterey, Ventura, Big Sur, and High Sierra. Wow, a wide range over here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, how do you feel over here with how you're doing it?
Well, I just need to figure out where I can cut off the mirror display.
Okay, so with these, you have to go to, try and do gather windows. Yeah, so you see it like brought two windows up here together. So now you could, yeah, there you go. Go to arrangement. See right here, it's mirrored. Uncheck mirror displays. Boom, there you go.
Awesome.
And now you see you have two different displays here, and that's telling you that you have two different extensions now. See if you can go to that other window that I brought up. I think it's over here. Oh no, that's not it. Can you look at behind? Are you over here?
Yep.
Oh, it's covered. Okay, cool. You got something. Oh, and it's over here. You see the window?
Yeah.
So try and like bring it over. Remember, you're not mirroring. So, and then this little bar, that means this is your main computer.
Right.
So the projector is to the right, right? So if you move your mouse to the right and try and navigate to it, then you'll start to see it little by little. You know, to really like fuck around and see. Here, let me give you some assistance.
Yeah,
there we go.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Right there, see? So bring that over to the left.
Bring this guy.
Yeah, drag it. Yeah, there you go. So now you have it here. So now click scaled.
Scaled.
And yeah, you're at 1080p. So that's good. So we're just double checking all of that.
Okay.
Cool?
Yep.
All right. Great. Everybody has an extension, an extended display. But now we have some light going on, right? We want to make sure that we are hitting where we want to hit. So that's going to take a little bit of adjusting and some propping.
I'm all up in Nolan's space over here.
Exactly. So Nolan, this is your projector right here?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's not too bad, bro. You sure you don't want to play with it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Play with it, and then we'll switch.
Yeah.
So then you can see, so you can compare. So Nolan, we're gonna put you over here somewhere. So let's find some things to prop your projectors with. Yeah, you got a little book, good. Here, this might be enough. Can we use this?
Oh, yeah, sure.
What is this, a light? Hard drive?
Converts the electricity to a usable amount.
Okay, so this will be good for you. So here, put this underneath. Yep. And what you're trying to do is just, aim to like fill up what you want to hit.
Can we take this off?
Take what off?
Off the wheels?
Leave it on it. Leave it on it, because then that way you get to play around with how the height of it and stuff. And then Miguel, let's aim you over here. Ooh, and you are on all over Nolan's thing. You know what, Nolan? No, we're gonna use this one. Okay. Yeah, because you'll be able to throw a little bit more, maybe deep that way. And then, ooh, David, yeah, you got over here. So try and get over here, all the way to the stairs. Yeah.
The stairs?
Yeah, and down.
Okay.
And you need a little bit more height. Yeah.
Oh, HDMI cable.
Yep. That happens. When that happens, it's always just a matter of making sure that things are plugged in properly. I think it turned off, right? So yeah. Turn it back on, and then you'll have to rejig that. So that's looking cool, but let's plug in this one.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be more fun actually. And then Miguel, so then you have your extended display, and it's good that you have a black screen, because in a gig you don't want them to see your desktop background. However, right now it's a little bit hard for you to take a look at what's going on.
I definitely know I need to flip because that's the top right corner.
Oh, okay. So this is interesting too, right, Brian? If you could get this, depending on what projector you're using, you know, sometimes the projector is mounted to the ceiling, and that means that the projection is upside down. Right now with Miguel's projection, his whole projection is upside down, and that's very annoying. So it's typically about going into the menu on the projector and navigating to something that may say installation, for example, here, and then going down to projection, and then making sure that it's a front projector as opposed to a front ceiling. So go up more, go up 2 more, 1 more, right there. Yep, and then go up 1, and then hit enter. And now we got, the regular throw over here. Okay, and then David, I think you need a little bit more height. I want you to get the bottom over here.
Okay.
But you're doing great. And then Nolan, talk to me about you.
We're on.
You're on, and it's detecting it, so that's good. Let's go.
To displace it? Or?
So I want you to hit over, like all the way over here, actually. So, and you see how I'm tilting it down, because you see the blue? I want you to cover as much wall as possible. So right now you're covering all the way to here, to even back there, as you can see, right?
That's crazy.
That's nuts, right?
That's good.
So let's figure out, you know what, we're gonna use this projector to, to mount it. Can we, let's see, I'm gonna turn it off. Oh, I just turned it on. Yeah, there you go. And one thing about mounting, so right now we're just testing, we're applying, right? We're just on a table. Typically you would want to have the projector mounted, for example, on a tripod or on a ceiling or really secured somewhere, right? Right now we're just messing around and we're just trying to mount it in the right places. Okay, cool. So you're plugged in, but it's blue. We don't see your desktop. So that has to do with just a little bit of troubleshooting. And some troubleshooting is sometimes just a matter of unplugging and plugging back in. And then sometimes you have to go into the actual projector and change the source. So is this plugged into your computer? And then plug it and unplug it over there?
My computer knows that it's happening.
Oh, you know what? It's trying to do HDMI 2. You see over there where it says HDMI 2?
Yeah.
And this is on HDMI 1 now. So I'm gonna just go to HDMI 2 and see what happens. You flicked, or I saw it flicker over there, right?
Yeah, well,
Oh, there you go, there you go, boom. Great. And then you, Miguel, where are you? You're over here?
Yeah.
You're good? So make sure you hit escape, because I want to see your desktop. Oh, that is your desktop.
Nah, I don't know where that came from. I don't have that open. Let me see.
So I think let's hit escape over here somewhere. Oh, bro, that's this one. This one's still on. Let's turn that guy off. Okay, cool. So you're good?
Oh, yeah.
You got an image, you got an image, and you got an image.
And it's
Okay.
extended display.
All right, we got our projectors on. That's step 1. Step 2, let's fire up MadMapper.
we don't need Arena right now.
No, let's close Arena. We might not even get to Arena today, honestly. But, okay, let me know when everybody has MadMapper on. Everybody's good, MadMapper? Okay, so here's a little brief overview, and I think I'm gonna stay here. Okay, with MadMapper, we have a couple things to take a look at. On the top left corner, this is your surfaces button, and you have a couple different icons over here, including your fixtures, your manage outputs icon, your manage modules, and your master settings icon. And I'm just hovering over these, and I'm able to say what they are because the name appears on the bottom left corner. All right, does everybody see that? Cool. And then this panel over here is where you will be controlling a lot of your surfaces. But we'll get to that in a little bit. The next important thing to understand is all the way on the right side, there should be a panel with many different black and white icons and shapes and stuff like that. These are all surfaces or animations that come with MadMapper by default. If you scroll all the way up, you should be able to see some of those things, right? Everybody see that? Yeah, we got generators, we got materials, we got patterns, we got just all sorts of, simple animations to start messing around with. But then if you keep on scrolling down, you'll see there are ISF shaders, quartz composers. You could import images, you could import movies, you could import a whole image folder. You could import a Syphon input, which I'll review once we get to Resolume. And then there's also live inputs like your FaceTime camera on your computer. You can use that as a surface as well. But I just gave you a test card, right? So go to the images and go to plus, and then navigate to that test card. And go ahead and bring it into your MadMapper. And you should see a preview of it underneath. Cool. Miguel, I do see that you have your scenes really up high. You can drag go into the middle and just drag it down. Yep. Everybody got the test card in? Okay, great. So now when you click on the test card, I'd like you to navigate to the left side panel. Right underneath the first icon, there's a little square with a plus. It says add a video quad. With the test card selected, just go ahead and click one time. And what that does, it brings up the test card on both the left and the right side of your MadMapper in the main section in the middle. If you don't see two sections, navigate to this button over here, which is towards the left. It looks like a pause button, but it's really a circle with two lines. That is the dual side-by-side view. You might be on just the left view. You might be on just the right view. I want you to be on the dual view. Now, when you're on the dual view, the left side is your input. This is what MadMapper is reading. And then your right side is your output. This is what MadMapper is going to push out instead. If you're zoomed in too much, kind of like how I am, I'm hitting Command- to just zoom out. And I want you to have both of the images visible, right? They don't need to be the same size, they just need to be visible. Now, the important thing here, in order for you to actually start diving in and mapping, is to go to the video output or the manage outputs icon on the top left. And it looks like a little laptop with a little arrow going up. And this is an important thing to understand because you want to make sure that you're outputting to the correct projector. So you have, by default, one video output. And that means, okay, cool, you have one projector sort of plugged in. But you need to make sure that the destination, which is all the way on the bottom over here, the destination actually says the projector that you got plugged in. So if it's an Epson projector, it should say Epson. If it's an Optoma projector, it should say Optoma. If it's a DJ Professional, it should say DJ Professional or something like that. Does everybody follow? Everybody got that? Everybody's good? All right. So we kind of dotted our T's and crossed our I's a little bit, or the other way around. So let's go back to the video surfaces icon, which is the first icon on the top left corner. And since we have this first surface and we are ready to map, what you have to do is go to the top menu bar where it says output in MadMapper, and then go to full screen mode. And that outputs your, whatever it is that you have on the right side of your MadMapper canvas to the full screen of it. Yep, and then you can literally start mapping by using the right side of the screen. You click on it, and once you click on it, you will see an icon that is, or little circles on each corners. They're kind of used like corner pins. There's an icon in the middle of the canvas top that does, if you click and drag it, that resizes it. And then the little circle on the right rotates your canvas. So what I like you to do is to try and map your video to certain quads of what you're seeing in real life. So for example, Miguel, I like you to just make this rectangle go from, make the rectangle go right here, right? One flat surface. And then Nolan, looks like you're good. You already mapped it to that one surface over there. And then David, if you could map from here, you see this corner of this wall? So top here down to there, and then the rest of this wall. Go ahead and map that video. All right. Looking great, guys, looking great. So let's say you want to add another surface, right? What I suggest doing is going back to the images folder, the test card. Make sure you click it one time. And then on the left side, same icon that has the square and the plus, you could go ahead and click that another time. And that does, it just adds another test card to where you were. So that's another layer. So you could go ahead and resize that. You can, do some corner pinning and give me another surface that you're trying to pin. So like for you, David, let's get over here into this this little area, or anywhere else, right? Just anywhere else you could put a video. And for you, Miguel, yeah, like on the left side, a smaller video. And then, yeah, looks like you're already getting into it. You got the cube going, yeah. So once you're ready with your map, I'll let you get in there, right? Yeah, very good. You getting all this, Brian?
Yes, sir.
These little guys?
I have that one and this one, and I have you, but I have that in the background as well.
Fire. Super, super, super. Dope. So now if you want to replace the test cards with some of your content, what I like you to do is on the right side of your MadMapper, I want you to select all. So you could just literally kind of like any other thing, just click and drag. So you're selecting the 2 or 3 surfaces that you got on your canvas. And then scroll up to any of these things, any of these images, and right click, or if you're on a MacBook, right, with a trackpad, a 2-finger click, and go to the first menu that says Apply Media to Selected Surfaces. And that's what exactly it does. It applies that certain media to those surfaces. Now, if you have some options underneath that media, you can see that you have the ability, like for me, I put on the dunes. You have the ability to mess with the scale of the dunes. You have the ability to speed up the animation. You could change some font colors. You could change the brightness of it. You could change the contrast. Yeah, definitely mess around with all of those options, because that allows you to do just some fun and neat things natively in MadMapper. We're not even in Resolume yet. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep, you can change the colors, boom. You can change the speed. If you want to change it again, all you have to do is just with them being selected on the right side of MadMapper, right? With the surfaces being selected, just or whichever surface you want to change. Maybe it's just one of the surfaces you want to change. Just go ahead, navigate to the media and apply media to that specific surface. And you could have multiple different things going on that are different. It doesn't have to be all the surfaces at once. Cool, questions, comments? There you go, you got something different there. All right, so let me give you another tool to help you to understand how much more you can map. So on the top left corner, we have a little gear icon, right? Click on that gear icon and then navigate to something that says highlight background color. When you check that little box on, you'll start to see what other surfaces you can hit and put other videos in, right? So you, David, you have a lot more opportunity to map anything that's white. So what you could do is create another rectangular surface or the little square icon with the plus and add more videos. Or what you can do is actually, instead of going with the square, you can go with the triangle, or you could go with the circle. And those will give you videos within a circle. Those will give you video within a triangle. And then you could go ahead and start to resize those and apply those into different places of your surface. So Nolan, for you, like did you check out the highlight background right here in the gear? And then highlight background. Look at all that you can map. You can map anything that's white. Sure. Anything the light touches belongs to you. Right? So you can map that whole, yeah, and I want you to give me some circles over there or some triangles over there. All right. And then same thing with you, Miguel, right? You got all these places. You even hit the floor over here, which is interesting. And you could, let me see a video on that fire alarm thing, or I don't even know what that is. What's that called?
Yeah, fire alarm box.
Fire alarm box, I think, right? Just like lights and shit. How are we doing on time? 11:33. We've been rolling for an hour? Really? Including the presentation in the beginning?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. That's not too bad. What do you guys think of the lesson so far? Awesome. Neat, right?
Great.
Yeah, good triangle, Nolan. I like that.
Hands-on application is what really does it.
Action, baby.
How do I position this visual behind everything else?
Very good question. Okay, so David asked a really good question. He wants to position a certain visual behind everything else. So very similar to Photoshop, that layers panel is treated as such. So anything that's on top is gonna show on top.
Which layers?
The layers panel is all the way right here. This is where your quads appear, right? So similar to Photoshop, you can also double click the name and rename it. And I like to do things like main video, something like that. And then I could be like, for quad 2, smaller video, or small video, name it whatever you want, but you could click and drag it underneath the video, and then that's how layering occurs. And as you can see, like for me, it's underneath, the smaller video is underneath the bigger layer. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me give you one other tool to use, or that I like to use. If you go to the gearbox again, there should go all the way towards the bottom. There's a video cursor. If you click on show, that starts to give you a little target so that you know where your mouse is at in real life. Yeah, that's super helpful. So go to the gearbox, video cursor, and then show. And now you'll start to see it in real life. Yeah, there you go. You see? You'll know where your mouse is at. And that's just helpful. And did you get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Money.
there.
And in zooming in and out on the input and output sides, I say you can zoom out really, really far, which is to say that the software would allow you to hit as big as your surface is, that you would see all of your output here.
Correct. So if you had multiple projectors plugged in, you would be able to position those projectors in this canvas wherever, and yeah, zoom out and kind of like click on them and control them and see where they're at. All those different surfaces. But you're only, and you see there's like a little outline here. Mm-hmm. Those are your boundaries, your projector's boundaries, okay. Which is in real life what the white light hits. So if you guys have a video file like a MP4 or an MOV on your computer, you can bring that into MadMapper simply by dragging and dropping it into that right side of MadMapper or hitting the plus button under videos, or I think it's called movies. It's called movies. Yeah.
That again?
Yeah. If you scroll down, movies.
Okay.
Scroll down here. Movies plus. If you find a video, you could bring it in here. And remember, you can also bring in your FaceTime camera as a surface. So please experiment with all of those things. And yeah, let's just see you add in more shapes, more mappings. Pretty neat, yeah. Right? What do you think?
Good enough. So
neat?
like when you're in this area, I record this. Let me see that background. Let's see. Occasionally when you move this way, I move it that way.
Oh, yep, check out Miguel. Miguel has his FaceTime camera mapped on the walls or the surfaces that he has on there.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's sick.
Yep, that's awesome. Nice. David, awesome, super awesome.
Can you do photo booths? Like you do the birds flying over?
Cool. That's so dope. Nolan, let me see another box. You see where this sort of outline is right here? Let me see a box right there, yeah. Yeah, find different things to kind of like map on that makes it look a little interesting. Now I think David has an interesting situation here. I'm trying to see if all of y'all have the same situation. Y'all don't. The situation is that David has a door, right? And let's say he wanted to not project on the door, you can mask out that door. I'm trying to see what can you mask out over here that makes a little bit more sense. Oh, I see you with the light thing up there.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that's cool, right? Just that small detail in an event just makes it look legit.
So this.
You know what? I'll just do the teaching anyways of masking out. Is that cool with you, David? And then the other two can listen too. Oh, I see you with the eyeball.
It's not coming out as clear as I wanted to though.
It's also, you're also out of bounds. Maybe that's why.
I'm out of bounds.
So you see this little gray line right here? Mm-hmm. That's the limits of your projector, right? Or you know, of your light.
Okay.
But you also need to understand that that light, the top of that is hitting the ceiling. It's the black up there. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why. So maybe you just need to make the eyeball smaller.
Okay.
Overall, just tinier. So that you can actually see that it's an eyeball.
Because it's a square, right? It crops out like the rest of the video.
Oh, good point here. So the video is a square or the
shape.
The shape that it came in. Okay, very good. So, and that's what this left part is, right? Because you're able to select what part of the video you want to project out. Mm-hmm. Right here, you're selecting just the middle part. So what you do here is zoom out just a little bit, Command I on this side, maybe click into the empty area. Click into the empty area and then Command I once.
Oh. Nope, we have
cancel.
Different commands.
Well, hit the minus button up here.
Okay.
Yeah, so now click on the middle. You see these corner pins?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bring them out to the edge of the videos.
Okay.
Yep, boom, it's snapped in. Snapped in. And now you have, well, what it's doing is it's squishing it into your already square. So go back, I would delete it. And now that it's set correctly, come back to your layers, go back to the eyeball, and now hit that guy again, yep. And now you have the eyeball. Oh yeah, look at that.
All right.
And it's on top of everything, so now you can move it to wherever you want.
Right, doing this. Gotcha, okay.
You can resize it, make it smaller, make it bigger.
I think I'm gonna add them to here, but we have to do the same thing over here, right? No, we don't. That's just a square.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, cool.
That one's cool.
Very dope.
Very cool. But yeah, I'm ready for the mask.
And then can you get a shot of what it looks like? Or just see like what it is, what he ended up doing. Neat. Yep, feel free to click around and mess around and just see all the other functions, but honestly, those are the basics right there. Oh, let me do the mask. The masking, I think, is going to be interesting and kind of important in certain situations for you to do. Nice, Nolan. You got the little guy over there. Good, good. Okay, so, for example, can everybody look at David's wall? David has a couple surfaces going, but he has this door, right? And let's say for whatever reason, we didn't want light on that door. We want to mask out that door, right? So masking is important in projection mapping because sometimes you just need to mask something out. So we're gonna pretend, and I'm actually gonna go back to my test card and replace it over here, right? So if you're looking at my screen, I have this surface here, and I'm gonna pretend there's a door in the middle of my test card that I want to mask out, right? So I'm gonna go and find that layer, right? That's main quad. You come down here on the bottom left, there's an option called masks. When you untwirl it, you have these different options. If you just hit the square one, it automatically creates a quad that is masked out. And all you have to do is click and drag it wherever you want to. And similar to like the mapping, you go ahead and map out a door or whatever it is that you're trying to mask out. Now let's say I wanted just the door. You can click on the button called Invert Mask, and just what is being, just the surface of the door gets projected into. So go ahead and give that a shot, and then you start to cut out different things in your mapping.
I created a door.
Great, you created a door. Awesome. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure why mine isn't like visible.
The door reminds me of Wile E. Coyote in the
What do you think?
Delete it? Oh, all right, do it again. Wait, is this the quad? Is this the correct quad? Can you hide it? Oh, so if you want to take a look at what's being hidden, or if you want to know what layer is what, next to the layer icon, there's a little lock button, but there's also a little square. You hit the square and that's the visibility. All right, so you could see, just kind of like in Photoshop, that's like the eyeball. It's like, okay, this is that layer, this is that layer.
Yeah.
So were you on the correct layer?
No.
That's what it was. Yeah, there you go. Awesome sauce. Yeah. So obviously, Nolan, with the MadMapper that you have, because it's a demo, the little MadMapper logo flashes on. Same thing with yours, right? Yeah. So you could go out and map. You're just gonna have that watermark.
Right.
Questions, comments, concerns?
How would I, if I wanted to make it look like this cube is like a 3D thing, and you're like, it's like moving and forming, you know, like in the video you showed?
That's
I
a
have to download a clip of that?
That's a great question. Yes, you do have to download a clip of that. I actually haven't done that yet. Out of all the years that I've been mapping, I guess never came across that. Let me see. I think MadMapper actually have some default settings, or maybe not, actually. So let's see, for example, I'm gonna go to elements.envato.com. This is a great resource to download all sorts of videos and just stock resources. I'm gonna put in the word mapping, or I'm gonna put cube mapping. Let's see what happens. Ooh, something like this, Nolan. This blue one, not. Kind of like that. I know what you're talking about. I mean, any of these are still cool to map, but I know what you're talking about. You're trying to make it like the shadows, kind of make it look like it's morphing or something, right? Let me put 3D cube mapping. Is it this? No, this is a transition. Video mapping cubes. You know what? This might look good. It's on an angle. Here, I'm gonna airdrop this video, these like shadowy things that I just downloaded, and then see how it looks on there for you guys. Share, airdrop. Uh-oh. What's going on? Not letting me. Let's try again. Airdrop. Nolan's. There we go. Here's some for you, David, and for Miguel. Airdrop is so magical.
I know, it's the greatest.
Questions, comments? Neat, right, Miguel?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How much is this projector that I'm using?
That one's like 1,000.
Yeah. It's not too bad, I guess.
1,000. I think yeah, I got it refurbished for like 700. Yeah, and you saw the difference already with yours compared to that one, right? The short throwness one, and I think it's brighter.
Yeah, it's way brighter.
It's brighter.
Look how well that animation projects. It's
So,
white, yeah.
so one, because it's white, and two, it's closer. So the further away you get, the more faded it looks. Because because Nolan, all the way in the back, you can hit that wall, but that's going to be faded, right? And compared to also Miguel's image to yours, we're looking at laser versus LCD,
Oh yeah.
right?
The laser's probably
The,
more expensive.
the lasers, yeah, these are 1,500. And then David's using an LCD one. But even so, because David is relatively close, the image doesn't look that bad. And Nolan, I like you to also take a look. You're using some live action footage. The darks end up looking really dark,
Yeah.
right?
It's harder to see.
It's harder to see. And if you're going to do that in a situation, you need to make sure that you're at a really good distance and that you're on a completely white surface. You feel me?
Yeah. This is looking pretty good, but it seems off. Something seems off about it.
It's not what you're looking for. That's what it is. Yeah, I know what you're looking for, but you'd have to dig in to like try and find that. But that's pretty neat too.
That is cool.
All right, what time is it? 12 o'clock. All right. How you guys feeling? You want to break? You want to keep going?
I'd love to eat.
You love to eat? Yeah. Let's take a break then.